your clean sheet leader in the Premier League this season, giving us the best goal difference in the league this season. 10 clean sheets for Illan Meslier is keeping us in a fantastic position in the Premier League. That position being above Chelsea on goal difference thanks to that clean sheet record, although also to the amount of goals that we've scored. We have the best goal scoring record in the league so far. That said, they have not come that easily of late, have they? But we hope to rectify that today. We started to rectify it yesterday, and we've got some important fixtures today. We want to close the gap on Manchester United that currently stands at 2 points with 12 games to go. We start with 14th placed Aston Villa, underperforming, but certainly capable of providing damage on any given day. We've also got 10th placed Fulham today as well as we power through this Premier League season. Second leg against Villarreal after a very difficult 0-0 draw away from home. And the side that beat us in the FA Cup final last year have the opportunity to knock us out again, this time at the quarter-final stage. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers at home, but we start with Aston Villa. We know that they obviously have some decent players. Why they're underperforming as much as they are, I'm not sure. Klojek up top, our former striker, as well as Underwood there with him. Louis Barry on the left, John McGinn, Rafa, Joao Cancelo in the back for them, Pau Torres and Diego Carlos, Luca Digne, Emi Martinez. They've got a lot of originals in their lineup, as do we, from the beginning of the save. They've got Moussa Diaby on the bench. They've got Kingsley Coman, although he's injured on this occasion. James Maddison is in their squad as well. They've got the players. They just need to do the business. We've got the players, and so far we are doing the business, apart from the Carabao Cup final, and hopefully we can do said business against Aston Villa at Ellen Road. Thank you again for your continued support in the comments section down below. Man like Shane, Rangers fan 1996, and Cohen Handley are the three on the board for you today. Keep those comments coming in. I'll try and keep the points rolling in. Klojek tackled well by Ben White. Now make me a run I can use, Joel. Good lad. And he's on his left-hand side as well. It's going to be difficult from here. That difficult is his bread and butter. Such a good goal scorer for us, Joel Peru. Although he is, despite being at his highest rating, I think having his lowest goal-scoring season for us this year. At least that's what it feels like anyway. We have had goals spread throughout the squad this season, more so than ever before. And as a result, Peru hasn't been the go-to goal scorer. He still scored quite a few, to be fair. And I'm sure if we check the stats, we'd be able to see that I'm probably mistaken and he's still scored like 20 goals this season. But it doesn't feel like I've been able to rely on Peru as readily this season. That said, it was a very, very good effort to start us off. And our former striker, Adam Klojek, comes within a few inches of scoring one at the other end. Genie. There's the space for Rafinha. Oh, it really nicely drops the shoulder. Goes for a worldie. Emi Martinez takes the piss a little bit by holding on to it, not letting go. Bit of a camera save, you'd say. Underwood. Rafa's the one on the run. Marks with a back heel tackle. Something I don't think I've seen for quite a while. Declan Rice will spread this to Van Evite. And Rafinha is away, as he always is, down the wing. And if I'd have just let that run, actually Diego Carlos had overcommitted in one direction, and it would surely have just been a simple case of dummying it and running through. I didn't quite react quickly enough, didn't think quickly enough. It's cost me a bloody goal, hasn't it? Aston Villa 1, Leeds United 0. We could have been taking the lead at one end. We go behind at the other. Luca Digne from left back, of all places. Digne floated away, and as far as Callum Chambers, but Declan Rice steps in. Genie on the counter. Rafinha's coming, but Digne's getting back to him. Genie just wouldn't react to me changing direction there. Just kind of stumbled into the defender. Spawn bag. Louis Barry. Louis Barry still. Underwood. Rattled in off the woodwork. Aston Villa 2. Leeds United 0. We said that they were underperforming. They're overperforming now. Right, come on then. Maybe a run. Julian. Somerville finds Alvarez, who's onside. Julian Alvarez off the bench here. With an impact and a half. Joel Peru has been in Diego Carlos's back pocket in that first half. So I just changed things up straight away. First thing Julian Alvarez does, leaves Diego Carlos in his wake and slams it home. And Rafa. Rafa tackles well. Declan Rice out wide. To Somerville. Nice. Top stop by Emi Martinez. Thought it might just float in towards that back corner. Well, Julian Alvarez being the short man. Probably, to be fair, I should just have him taking the corners rather than trying to be on the end of them. Louis Barry chests that. Diego Carlos will just lump it. Anywhere will do for them right now. Ben White will spread this across to Martson. He's got Somerville in there. And Martson will go again. Again, crossing isn't really the way forward at the moment. It's Archie Gray. In the middle there is Declan Rice. And Julian Alvarez again! Replicates the finish. 2-2. How's that for an impact off the bench? The first goal was good enough. The second's even better. Alvarez wants it. Alvarez gets it. Pau Torres left behind this time. Oh! Oh my God! The best substitute impact you've ever seen in your life. Hat-trick off the bench inside 20 minutes. Julian Alvarez wants that starting spot. Sorry, Mr. Peru, you're benched. Pass the ball about with a bit more conviction now, Aston Villa, but they are running out of time to find an equaliser. They know they can score. They've already got 2. We are vulnerable at the back. We've shown that countless times over the past few days. But at the moment... able to keep them at bay. Lindelof and McLeod. Saved. No, don't give a pen. Ah, he's just trying to block the shot. I mean, he's fallen into me. Then it's triggered the tackle animation after he's tried to block the shot. Underwood from the spot. It's going to go right. Yep, keeper's right. Top bins. 3-3 in the 90th minute. Underwood scores a brace and Villa will get something from this game. Well, Julian Alvarez's heroics off the bench, unfortunately, only enough to earn us a point. I think the boos are unwarranted, but they are quite profound. I think they're probably for the referee for giving that penalty, if I'm honest. Their striker fell into my guy and then fell over. And the ref was like, oh, that's a pen, mate. That will change the scenario at the top of the table again. But now we have a scenario in Europe. And it's time to try and get a win against Villarreal this time. We drew last time. 0-0. We've got goals in us. We've also got goals against us in us too. Exactly the same 11 as last time, Villarreal. 0-0 in Spain. What's it going to be like in Leeds? Well in, Gini. Alvarez will get it back to him. We couldn't score in Spain at all. It's taken 5.5 minutes back in England. It's a Villarreal defensive mistake, something they were not making at all in the first leg. But the first action of the second might be them waving us through to the Champions League quarterfinals. Inexplicable. Lovely switch by Deck. Oh, this is gorgeous. Martson driven back, picked off. Maybe I played it too soon. Should have got to the byline perhaps. Alvarez trying to win it back. Force another mistake for this Villarreal defensive line, which they've made. Is it going to cost them a goal this time? No. Tammy Abraham with a stupendous challenge. But Declan, no. Archie Gray replicates. That was superb. Over the top looking for Somerville. Dart inside with the first touch. Bend the ball. Top save. Top save. Really good from Karnaseki. Somerville to deliver. Up goes Archie Gray. It's going to fall to Gini. And down to Jack Clark. And over the top from Zagrova. Bodies in the way for Villarreal at the minute is the plan of action. And it's nearly working. Oh. If in doubt, let Ethan Ampadu shoot. That'll work as well. I can't get there. I got there instead. No. Ah. Good save. When I saw it was Alexis McAllister, I was waiting for the net to ripple, if I'm honest. He'll take the corner himself after winning it with a shot that was saved. And, well, cleared is not really the word I'd use. Looked like it just hit Somerville, more so than him purposefully throwing his head towards it. This one is better from Ben White. Willock down, Jeremy Pino. Support from McAllister, Wellini and Martson. They've got the talent and quality to get themselves back in this, Villarreal. So I am going to have to be very, very wary at the back. If I time this right, Van Everwijk's in, and the right back might double our advantage. Yes, he will. Milan Van Everwijk, signed from Coventry City, scoring in the Champions League. Raum. Oh, he's done me. He's cut it back nicely. Jeremy Pino delaying with a shot, which completely sold me with the defenders. Melier sprawling away to his left-hand side to ensure that the clean sheet's kept intact. Alexis McAllister with the corner kick for Villarreal here. Their half-time team talk seems to have worked. They are fired up for this one now. Joe Willett gets it under control and back out wide here to Alexis McAllister. What are they going to do with it this time? They'll change the direction. I rate that. Definitely not a foul. Jimenez to Willett. And McAllister, I like the idea again, but not quite so well executed. Back inside, Gini, Rice, Alvarez, trying to do what he did against Aston Villa and doing it superbly. He's off the pitch now. I'm about to take him off for Joel Peru because he's dead on his feet. But his feet have still got enough stamina and lack of fatigue in them to be able to power home that effort. 3-0, quarterfinals of the Champions League, here we come. It's comfortable in the end. Second leg here against Villarreal. We're through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and things are only going to get tougher from here on in. Up next, Wolverhampton Wanderers in the FA Cup quarter-final. We would very much like to win that one as well. Leicester City beat Manchester United in one of the other quarter-finals. Fulham beat Brentford. If Brighton could beat Liverpool, then we'll be looking like definite favourites for this FA Cup this time around. Not that we weren't definite favourites against Wolves last year in the final, were we? They've got Rodrigo Muniz up top. He's having a great season in real life for Fulham. Hwang on the left and Gonzalez on the right. Enes Gonzalez, who they offered me actually in a swap deal a couple of times. And who's that in the centre mid for them? Fares Chaibi. Through the middle, one of their best attacking players. Jared Branthwaite, their best defensive player, apparently. Slanina in goal for them, intriguing one. Wolves won 3 of their last 4. They knocked us out of the FA Cup at the final stage last year. They are not to be underestimated. And Gray. Gelhardt. Alex Scott. A couple of changes made for this. Lovely run by Rafinha. That's exactly what I need him to do in that situation. He's in behind on that left. Golazo! If only we could have done that at Wembley last season, eh? Rafinha makes it 1-0 Leeds early doors. Chaibi. Put in the transfer request. Didn't want to play for us anymore. Has come to Wolves. And is involved in a goal-scoring move for them. Rodrigo Muniz, the Brazilian, gives them a 1-1 equaliser here. Still a long way to go in this quarter-final tie, but Wolves showing that they can score goals against us. Great movement by Hwang, to be fair, to beat the defender. And then it just sat up nicely on the bobble to strike powerfully into the back of the net. We're level. It's past Nelson, Semedo. On the floor, maybe. Alvarez. Gelhardt, blocked well. Rice! Good save by Slanina. Slats up nicely. Had to be struck as hard and as firm as possible. Rafinha's delivery. Yeah. Oh. Ugh. Yeah, okay. I think the less said about that, the better for Ben White's sake. Archie Gray. Drill that into Alex Scott. There's Rafinha. And Alvarez. Oh, it's great footwork from Alvarez again. It's a brilliant save by the goalkeeper. That was the lead at half-time, waiting to be tucked away, but Slanina's done the business in this first half, all but that one time, and we are level at the break. Martson will drive centrally here and hope that it will draw the full-back out. It didn't really build as I'd hoped it would there, but Archie Gray will turn. Look at the run of Alex Scott. I'm not going to find him. I'm not just going to try and force it for the sake of forcing it. Gelhardt. Jack Clark. He's in now. Jack Clark. Straight at Salina. That's not good enough. 57th minute, still 1-1. No one knows who's going to Wembley for a semi-final this time, not yet. Yeah, look at the run of Alvarez. He's in. Oh, the touch is sublime. Julian Alvarez. He is deadly, isn't he? Leeds 2, Wolves 1. It might be us going to Wembley. Ref. He's just doing a somersault for the sake of it, is he? Yeah, I thought so as well. Kaderabek. Juan Swang. Out wide is his option. It's Chaibi. Into Bueno. Into the middle. Away by White, thankfully. Keeps. And just hoof it. Thank you. I should only really do that when I've got Joel Peru up top. But Gelhardt won the header well. Just couldn't really find anyone else in White. Chaibi. Rides the challenge. Manus has already got one. Looking to try and get another for Wolves here. Semedo. Semedo. Semedo! Wide. Holds it up nicely. Peru off the bench here. Peru! Ooh. Destined for the top corner, that one. Till the keeper intervened. Rafinha with the corner. Peru's up with a header as well. And Slanina with a good save. It was basically the exact header that gave us the second goal against Bournemouth in the last round of this competition. Ben White will recover that. Ampadu will help it on its way. And Jack Clark's shot is blocked. Chaibi wins that header nicely, but we'll keep it alive for now. Only the one goal in it still, so we can't get too carried away thinking that we're definitely through to the next round of the Cup, because all it takes is one misplaced pass or excellent piece of quality from Wolverhampton Wanderers, and we're back level and headed to extra time, which we cannot afford with the nature of the fixture list at the moment. Plenty of Premier League games on the horizon. Champions League football still a thing in our season as well, thankfully. So we're going to have to be vigilant in these last few moments to ensure that we keep them out. And it'll be us going back to Wembley again. We would be favourites for the whole competition as we were last year. When we get to the final. Should we get to the final, should I say, if we make it to the semis, and if the other results go the way that we hope that they do. Certainly the opportunity for another left field FA Cup winner this season as there was last. Last time it was at our expense. Let's hope it's not the same this time around. Here's Mosquera now for them. 90 seconds to go or so. How many minutes are going to be added on here by the referee? We're not sure. Chaibi into Rodrigo Muniz. There's very nearly another 30 minutes added on because of extra time. 2 only. Scott McTominay coming on for them. Gary O'Neill making the change. Rafinha to try and get rid of the near post. Ampadu, it's not great. Archie Gray's there. Mosquera still. And McTominay. Heart in mouth when Strout lunged for that. But thankfully he got the ball, not the man. And we will be at Wembley again for an FA Cup semi-final. Semi-finals we've got a great record in. It's the finals themselves that we're not quite so good at the moment in this lead save. If there was a final I wouldn't mind losing of the ones that we could have this year, then the Carabao Cup would be that one. And Brighton do beat Liverpool. Wow! In extra time. Leicester 3-2. Fulham 3-2. Brighton 3-2. Couldn't quite match it, but Leeds 3-1. So Leicester, Fulham and Brighton are our potential opponents for an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. That has gone particularly favourably, hasn't it? With Fulham next then in this Premier League tie, we find ourselves down in third again, but only because Chelsea have played a game more. And if we can get victory here against Fulham, then we should be top 2 again, if not top, if Manchester United want to drop points. That would be lovely if they did. Bender gets the starting goal this time ahead of Aguirre Zabala, who's normally pretty good for Fulham, but with a quick sim, this should be straightforward. Should be a 3. It's a draw only. I was going to say it should be a 3 or 4 goal victory. It could have been, given the nature of the stats. Fulham scoring with that only 2 shots. Colombo with them both. Actually, Julian Alvarez needed to equalise. Yikes. So that will keep us third then in the Premier League table, I think. Indeed it does. 4 points the gap to Manchester United now. Could not really afford that draw with Fulham. It's Borussia Dortmund we have in the Champions League next round as well. That's very tough. FA Cup final coming Oh no, sorry, it's the semi-final. Got carried away. Fulham in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley to come at the end of April. Then we'll have a busy month of May as well, because it will hopefully have Champions League semi-finals and a final in it too. It's going to be a long road to the end of this final season at Leeds, but it's a road that could end with multiple trophies. We've already got the Community Shield. We've already got the Championship. We could have had the FA Cup but failed, but we're going for it again. We could have had the Carabao Cup, but we failed. So we unfortunately will not win that competition this year. 10 to go in the Prem. It's doable. So's the Champions League. So's the FA Cup. Let's do the treble. See you tomorrow. Actually, this is Friday's video. I'll see you Monday.